Hi everyone, welcome to our fourth and final talk on high performance recovery. So far we've learned the benefits of sleep in the recovery process, the importance of nutrition and having a plan for navigating the menu, and how implementing some simple breathing strategies leading up to the games can help you improve your performance and achieve your personal best. Our goals for today are to review the recovery pyramid, talk about pre-games preparation, the art of the taper or deload, recovery modalities and their benefits, and at-games recovery strategy. Let's quickly review how our body responds to a training load or stimulus. If you remember this graph from our sleep presentation, we first have a training stimulus. This could be a team practice or a training session with your coach or a strength and conditioning session. During this training session, your body will fatigue as a result of the physical stress you put on it. After the training session ends, the body will start the recovery process by continuing to breathe at a higher rate than resting to help you get more oxygen to the muscles to start the repair process. This is where eating the right foods, resting, working on relaxation breathing, and sleep come into the equation. If we recover enough, we should be stronger, faster, fitter than we were before. And that is the time to train again. If we don't wait long enough, or if we wait too long to train again, we run the risk of not getting those progressive gains that we are looking for in our training program. As you remember, the foundation of our recovery pyramid is sleep, and we know that helps our bodies repair and grow, as well as improves our brain function, alertness, reaction time, and overall performance. Nutrition and hydration are the next important layer to the pyramid. Again, without proper nutrition and hydration, our bodies won't recover as well and in turn won't perform as well. We know that we need carbohydrate to help replenish our energy stores, protein to help build and repair muscles, and fat is needed for long-term energy and brain function. Today we're going to talk about training and recovery modalities. This includes not only physical training, like strength conditioning, specific training for your sport, but it also includes mental performance training. This is what Craig spoke to in our last session. A properly designed training program in each of these areas will stress the body in the right amounts at the right times to get a positive training response, as well as a positive recovery response. And then the techniques used with different recovery modalities, things like stretching and mobility work, massage guns, foam rollers, compression garments, compression sleeves like Normatex, cold tubs, hot tubs, are all different modalities that can aid in recovery between training sessions. We also learned from Craig that there are breathing techniques that can help the recovery process, that can help take your body from fight or flight to rest and recover mode. Please review and practice those leading up to the games. And if you need specific exercises, Craig will be available throughout the games for team and individual sessions. Please talk to your coach or mission staff to get those sessions set up for you. This is going to be on training strategies and using different modalities to optimize your recovery leading up to and while competing at the Canada Winter Games in Prince Edward Island. Let's talk about training program design for a second. Leading up to a major competition, it is important to taper the training program to ensure you are fresh and ready to perform at your best when it matters the most. A taper is one of the most critical phases of an athlete's preparation for competition. What is it? A reduction in training load prior to a major competition to maximize performance. The idea is to reverse the training-induced fatigue without a loss of positive training adaptations gained through training. Basically, we want less fatigue with maintained results. How can we reduce workloads? One way to do that is by reducing the training volume or how much work you're doing. Another way is by reducing the training frequency or how often you're training. And the third way is to reduce the training intensity or how hard you're working. The objectives of a taper is to reduce training volume but try to maintain the intensity to be as close as possible to competition intensity. Here are some examples of tapering. We're going to look at two different versions of this. The first one's called a linear taper. And basically what happens here is you have a gradual reduction in the volume throughout the tapering period. For example, a 5% reduction every training session until the goal volume is achieved. A step taper is where we drop the load immediately and then the new volume is maintained for the duration of the taper period. For example, a 50% reduction in the volume on day one and then maintained at that level. As you can see on this graph, there are other versions of tapering, exponential taper or slow decay, or a faster decay. The end result is similar in that what we want to try and do is reduce the volume of training, but we also want to maintain the intensity of training as we do that. How long should a taper last? Ideally, we're looking at 8 to 14 days as being optimal in most cases. This depends on how much volume the competition has. For example, hockey and ringette may have multiple games. They may need a longer, more gradual taper. Cross-country ski may have one event and require a shorter, quicker drop in volume. Let's take a quick review of tapering. 8 to 14 days is the optimal length. We want to maintain intensity to avoid detraining, decrease the training volume by 40 to 60%. There are linear and nonlinear models, which we discussed. A potential performance gain of approximately 3% can occur as a result of the taper. Here are some tapering don'ts. Do not participate in every available competition leading up to the games. Do not peak or taper for every competition. Focus on the most important ones to taper for. Example, the Canada Winter Games. Do not schedule training camps just before major competitions in an effort to prepare for that competition. These are typically high in volume and will not prepare an athlete any more than they already have leading up to those games. Oftentimes, this can cause too much fatigue and a drop in performance. Next, we're going to talk about some recovery modalities or different tools that you can use to recover. As we look at our performance recovery pyramid, we're going to start looking at the modalities. We know from our previous talks in the beginning of this one that your sleep, nutrition, breathing and relaxation, and training are the big rocks in your overall recovery. The following training modalities can be helpful, but in the whole scheme of things are a very small part of your recovery pyramid. These modalities can help optimize your recovery, but they should not be your main focus. First, we're going to look at stretching or mobility work. There is conflicting research on the benefits of stretching after training or competition. There is some evidence that post-exercise stretching may reduce muscle soreness 1 to 3 days after exercise. The benefits to post-activity stretching may be more of a psychological one, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Stretching can be relaxing and help you kind of set the stage for the next day as well. It is clear, however, that a dynamic stretching routine as part of a proper ramp warm-up can help prepare muscles and joints for competition. We often use a ramp warm-up. We will use those warm-ups at games as well with athletes who choose to do them with us. Ramp stands for R, raise, where we want to raise our heart rate, core temperature, breathing rate. Activate is where we start to use movements that are more specific to the sport we're competing in. Mobilize is more dynamic stretching work where we're trying to loosen up the muscles we're going to be using in our competitions. And potentiate is to get us to a level where we're close to being ready to compete. So movements are faster, more specific to our sport. These are the kinds of warm-ups we want to do prior to competition so we are ready and prepared to perform. This slide will go through and show a few different options for stretches. There are hundreds of different stretches, both static and dynamic. As a general rule, we want pre-activity stretching to be more dynamic in nature and post-activity stretching to be a little more static or passive. This is where we hold and focus on breathing and relaxation. Next, let's look at massage therapy. The benefits of massage are related to increased blood flow to the area, which helps remove waste products, increases oxygenation to the muscles. There are a variety of products that can help athletes massage their muscles if a massage therapist is not available. Foam rollers, massage sticks, lacrosse balls, these can all be used as a form of self-massage or myofascial release. Just like massage, when used, there is increased blood flow to the muscles, which can help remove waste products and get more oxygen to those muscles. We can focus on tight, stiff areas or trigger points with these units just because of the direct pressure they apply to muscle. This slide shows some examples of a variety of different foam roller exercises. We want to focus on tight areas or areas where we're restricted in movement. Again, you should try and cover all areas of the muscle and move at approximately 1 inch per second as you move along the muscle belly. We also want to cover the full area of the muscle. So for example, we don't just want to roll on our quads. In the middle of our quads, there are 4 muscles. So you actually need to rotate your hips and move the muscle on top of the roller on all sides of the muscle. A lacrosse ball can also be an effective tool to help free up some restrictions and loosen up tight areas. You can see you can use it in a variety of different areas on your body, the bottom of your feet, up to your shoulder blades, into your glutes and calves and quads, basically any area that you can think of. The pressure of a lacrosse ball is far greater than that of a foam roller or a massage stick. It's more direct. So it could be a little bit more painful, so you have to be just watch out for that and make sure you're not doing too much of that in preparation for competition. Next, we're going to look at massage guns. These can be used as a form of self-massage. Just like a massage, when used, there's an increased blood flow to the muscle, which can help remove waste products and get more oxygen to those muscles. You can focus on tight, stiff areas or trigger points, areas that are knotted up, things like that. The percussion forces can help loosen and relax stiff, sore areas of the body. If you have a massage gun, we will not have any out there at the game, so you can certainly bring those, but you do want to make sure that you keep those things under lock and key because you never know if they're going to go missing or not. Next, we're going to look at Normatec compression sleeves. Basically what these are external pneumatic compression. So if you see the boots that this athlete's wearing, they fill up with air at the feet and they actually push more air up the legs, massaging the legs. So just like a massage, there's an increased blood flow, which can help remove waste products and get more oxygen to those muscles, helping reduce muscle soreness and speeding up recovery. We will actually have 6 of these units available at scheduled times throughout the day at the games. 3 sets of legs, 2 sets of hips, 1 set of arms. Your coach or mission staff will be able to set these sessions up for you. Recovery sessions at the games will be 30-ish minutes in length, with Normatec sessions lasting 15 minutes. Stretching and self-massage, so things like foam roller, massage sticks, lacrosse balls lasting for another 15 minutes. Depending on the size of your team, we may need to stagger start some to manage the groups. A schedule will be posted after the final mission staff meeting, and teams can start reserving their sessions at that point. Next, we're going to look at compression garments. When worn after activity, they can increase blood flow to the muscles, which can help remove waste products and get oxygen to the muscles. This promotes improved circulation. It can help reduce delayed onset muscle soreness and damage. The compressive nature of the garment will actually increase circulation and help you kind of get those waste products out. There has been some research comparing pneumatic compression sleeves or Normatecs and compression garments that would indicate that the devices like the Normatec reduce muscle soreness and improve recovery quicker than using compression sleeves. Keep in mind that both are effective in helping speed up recovery process, but the Normatecs can do it a little faster, which at a major competition can be helpful. If you have compression garments and use them regularly, by all means bring them and use them as you normally would. Cold or hot water immersion. Given the fact that we are at winter games, the use of cold tubs to bring down body temperature after competition is really not necessary. We will also not have access to tubs for hot water immersion either. There is some evidence that both of these methods have some merit in promoting recovery between training and competition. If you remember back to our session on sleep, and one of the strategies to promote a good night's sleep is a hot shower. So even if there's only a minor recovery benefit, sleep does provide the major recovery benefit. So if you have worked this strategy into your sleep plan and you find it helps you to sleep better, your recovery will also be better. Cool down strategies. Again, like a good warm-up, a good cool down can help your recovery. We gradually want to bring your mind and body down from your competition. A light jog or cycle for 5 to 10 minutes, followed by stretching stiff and sore muscles as needed. The goal is to bring your heart rate and breathing rate down so the body will gradually cool itself. Recovery breathing takes your brain from fight or flight, or the sympathetic nervous system, to rest and relax, or the parasympathetic nervous system. This is really important. We want to remember back to our mental performance and breathing techniques covered to help you relax and get into recovery mode faster. Let's take a minute to review what we've learned over the course of our Canada Winter Games 2023 Peak Performance Series on recovery. We know from our first session that sleep is the foundation for high performance recovery. With proper sleep length, quality, and consistency, our bodies will grow and repair themselves and help our brain function at a high level. We gave you some tips on how to optimize your sleep leading up to the games and at the games. Our second session with Amy, we learned that nutrition is important for recovery to aid in building and repairing muscle and bone and replenishing energy stores for competition. We also know that hydration is critical to optimal performance. A mere 1% drop in body weight through water loss can decrease performance. Amy also went into great detail about how to navigate the menu in the athlete's village and have a plan going into the games so you are focused on your main reason for being at the games, to perform your best. In our next session, Craig discussed some mental skills to help you focus and relax and stay and enjoy the experience of the games while you are there. Finally, in today's session, we talked about how to taper your training program leading up to the games to come fresh and ready to be your best. We also covered some training modalities to help optimize your recovery while at the games, giving you a complete guide to being at the top of your game and reaching those personal bests you are aiming for. The key is to have a plan in place in each of these areas prior to coming to the game so your performance is automatic. You know how to warm up for your event, you know how to cool down effectively, and you know how to sleep. Nutrition and relaxation strategies are set and work for you. These are the keys to getting ready to perform at your best at these games. Okay, everyone, now it's time to turn all of your hard work into your best performance. Remember, we are here to help you in any way we can. Our performance team at Canada Games will be Jackie Mazer in week 1 and me, Jeff Wood, in week 2, and our mental performance coach, Craig Brown, will be at both weeks of the games. I found this series helpful and wish you all the best in your upcoming Canada Winter Games experience in Prince Edward Island. We are looking forward to working with you and watching you compete for Team Manitoba. Take time to enjoy everything about PEI and the games. It's the experience of a lifetime. Remember, horns up. Go Team Toba.